What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the comment section. I am your host, T.
And I'm your host, Coco.
And we're going to get right into our check-in. So, we ain't seen each other in about a week or two, maybe?
Yes. No, just a week.
A week?
We just recorded last week. Right?
We recorded last Thursday, huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Last Thursday.
Damn, I don't know. I guess since we are like doing our episodes the way we are now, it kind of confused me, like really thinking we had a bye week. You know what I mean?
Oh, because we didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So we did have a little bye week. We our postings are gonna be a week back, but
right.
It's because of my birthday and just having a lot of stuff going on. We still are building our team, so. But like I was saying, my birthday just passed and we had to do all that shit, and I've just been having a lot of stuff going. Like my family, we had a beach house. We are planning our 10-year reunion. I had my friend's funeral like 2 weeks ago. So I just been having a lot going on. We still haven't really that's what I was saying. We still haven't really built our team up the way we want to, or the way we're trying to with the podcast or whatever. Right. So it's just hard working with a 3-man team like this, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get everything edited, make sure reels are being, all your social media is attended to.
So many backed up reels.
Yes. All your social media is attended to. Plus we both got businesses or whatever, and I know I fell off crazy. I don't want to delete it off my computer or my phone.
What's that?
My content. I still have a bunch of makeup content I still haven't posted, from prom and just all kind of other stuff.
But when would you find time to do that? Oh, well, the weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend. Mm-hmm.
But I just haven't had the chance, so I don't know.
Would you do that?
I'm not saying makeup is off the table, but it kind of is a little bit 50-50.
Why though?
It's not I'm not saying it's not I'm not saying it's off the table as if it's not an option for somebody. Not like I was saying, it's not completely off the table to be doing makeup right now. It's just it would take a lot of time for me to be promoting myself how I used to get the look lines that I did have back then.
Would it really take a lot of time though, T?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm already editing this podcast. I have to make sure I have the storage on my computer. I have to make sure
You don't have to do your computer though, right?
What you mean?
For your content for your makeup.
My phone is getting full. It's not letting me do a lot certain shit just because, or if I did have to do captions on it or say from one editing thing to another, then I would have to, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I would have to delete stuff on my phone. So it's just really going crazy. It's probably about time for a new phone. You know, I think usually when I've been getting new phones, I've been keeping my old phone so I can,
have it.
Just have a backup and have extra space.
Especially if you pay all that money.
Yes, and these iPhones, they run out of space so quick. So you don't have to have more than one unless you got the 64 gigabyte or whatever what is it, 138? The
256.
256.
I think mine is 256.
Okay.
I think that might.
I think that's what it is too. Something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm just a scatterbrain right now. Was a little overwhelmed, but I'm kind of not letting that be a factor. It is what it is. I gotta roll with the punches. But what about you?
I'm good. I'm in a space where I'm kind of letting everything happen how it's supposed to happen. I'm not stressing about nothing no more. And then another reason why I'm not is because everything that I literally was stressing about 2 weeks ago, it's all been working itself out. Even to the point to where it's not working itself out how I probably wanted it to 2 weeks ago. But now how it's worked itself out is more so it needed to happen that way. So I'm kind of taking it as a constant reminder that that's basically what life is about. Having a lot of stuff to do and then letting things work itself out. And long as you keep moving, as long as you're not just sitting in your sorrow or sitting in your mess, it gotta work. You don't got no choice but to work. Even if it's not how I want it to work. Working is perfectly fine for me. So I just been cool, everything working, not necessarily working how I want it, but working. So
I feel that. Yeah. And that kind of goes into the reason we started the podcast is we have different perspectives and different ways of viewing things, and we want to see how other people view things because somebody could have gave you an idea that worked, but it's not the idea that you thought worked. You know what I mean? So like, that's a good thing that is working out that way. And sometimes we might not have all the answers, or sometimes we might not have just thought of that path. We might.
And then too, like I'm kind of living like what I realized the things that I was worrying about are things that naturally you can't even control. So like why worry about? I know people say that all the time, but like to put it in perspective, like the things that I can control, they might not be working, and I'm not doing nothing about it. So why would I try to control something that's not working that I can't control? You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm kind of on the thing like, as long as I'm good with as a mother, as long as I'm good, that's something that I can control. As long as I'm good as a wife, that's something I can control. And as long as I'm coming and showing up for my business every day, it has no choice but to have results. Like something has to come out of it. So that's kind of where I've been at. I'm on a chill type of vibe right now.
I can feel that. I'm
working on my faith too. Like having faith that things take care of themselves. Like you can't just say it, you gotta actually have action to it. So that's what I've been on.
I feel it, because like we was talking, like the economy is doing what it's doing. You know what I mean? So we don't really have no choice but to be here, be present in today. Like things are gonna happen.
I have to take accountability because I feel like it is a situation in our economy, but at the same time, it's a lot of people that still like, what economy? Oh, I'm good. Like, you know, so I had to like take accountability and be like, okay, are you maximizing your time? That's what I was saying about your makeup time. Like, for instance, how you were saying you was bored today at work. You probably could have been posting some, even if it wasn't a video, you know what I'm saying? Something, or I don't know. But I just been trying to maximize my time and, do what I can do. I'm not worried about money anymore. Especially like, for instance, like with the content creation, like I'm not really worried about being super wealthy off of that. Like I see that happening, but at the same time, it's like, have you put in the work to reap those wealthy results? You know,
I think that's what we just got to do. We just got to chase the dream and do the work, and
that's it.
And not really expect nothing of it, but whatever come. Like we got to let it come organically. Because I just, even with watching other people in their podcasts and stuff like that, I seen this girl I know, and it's not like I was jealous of it or anything. It's just like, I was like, damn, we could be doing better. I could be putting more time into that. Like I could tell she put some time into that. And I ain't gonna lie, it was a really good like rollout of her podcast. Like she about to start a podcast. Shout out to Madison. She got, I think she called it the Blunt Girl Podcast, and it was really cute how she did her rollout or whatever. And it seems well thought out. Like she has people helping her. She's doing the work. She doing what she needs to do. So I just kind of was like, damn, I need to be a little more mindful like that. I need to start thinking out, planning out, going back to, you know what I'm saying, just doing the work.
And another thing, and I was at Bible study last night, and my pastor said, self-develop, professional or personal development, self-development. If you're not investing into that, then you basically saying that it ain't gonna work, basically, because you have to have some type of professional, personal development. You have to invest into that too. You can't just expect like work. If you don't know, get help. If you don't know something, find somebody to help you learn how to do it. If you need a mentor, invest in a mentor. And like I've had a business mentor for a long time, but I have not had an industry mentor. I've never had an industry mentor. Like, so somebody like that's in my industry. Like my mentor they in medical.
It's just like an overall business.
Type of, business.
Yeah, so like not your specific industry.
Right. And so I looked at that like, that's the obvious. Like if it's something that you saying you don't know, then why you not just asking the person that knows?
That's crazy, because I looked into like different mentors today to help with this. Like I seen Miss Fowler does some mentorships, but she does it for like, just different things. But I just been looking into different mentors around Houston, people who doing what we doing, have already, went to the spaces we're trying to get into and stuff like that. So it definitely is a learning curve. It's an experience in itself, because we just jumped in thinking we had to buy equipment and be able to talk good on these mics. You know what I'm saying? Talk our shit on these mics.
And it's so much more than that. And I think I helped me more so, it is both, but I think more so than ever, like right now in this present time, is the hands. to do it all. Like you said, we are
in the business aspect of it. We got the, you know what I'm saying, the physical aspect of it. We don't have the business aspect of it down because I know it's people and it's ways to monetize. Right. It's ways to do ads. It's ways to get, you know what I'm saying? It's just ways. It's ways. So we just got to tap in more, really try to like schedule, prioritize, and, you know, put some real planning into this because I act like we give a damn.
Right. Well, not to bore y'all with our we just really low key having a whole business meeting right now.
We did.
But we gonna hop into, y'all know we've been on our relationship series, and so today we talking to a married man. Keep your legs closed to the married man.
No, for real. We is talking to a married man today. Y'all know we did say we were going to explore different perspectives of dating styles, relationships, and what the disconnect is today. Why people don't want to be married? Why don't people want to be in relationships? Why is it a hot girl summer?
I don't think that's true though. Why people don't want to be? I think
that's more of like a offense, a gay. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people aren't addressing. You know what I'm saying?
Real issues.
Real issues. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be an interesting conversation today. So let's get right into it.
Hey, commenters, you know we have to bring y'all an exclusive deal. We have a Step Ahead tutoring service offering a 15% off code. Are you struggling with your studies? Do you need some extra help to excel in your classes? Look no further, introducing our incredible tutoring program designed to help you succeed. And guess what? We have a fantastic deal just for you.
Yes, y'all know it's summertime, so for a limited time only, we have a 15% off of your tutoring service for 6 hours. Use the code CommentPod whenever you are booking this service, and you can get 15% off of any 6-hour tutoring service right now this summer. Get y'all babies in them tutoring classes because we about to go back to school, baby. We need all A's.
All A's.
Period.
All right, y'all.
Stop your shit. I'm a real hot topic.
This is what's coming your way.
Okay.
Hot topic. Yeah.
So, okay, welcome back, y'all. We are here with our host, Gabe. Gabe, real quick, we like to let the people know who we dealing with in at the beginning of the episode. So just give them a brief rundown who you are, your business, shout yourself out. Yeah,
introduce yourself a little bit to the people.
So how y'all doing? I'm Gabe, owner of GC Fitted. I'm a tailor. I've been a tailor for about 10 years. I'm also a supply chain professional. So I've been in supply chain for about 15 years.
Okay.
I have 3 kids, married.
How long?
I've been married for 11 years.
11, okay.
That's a long
11
time.
years.
That is a good stretch. And how long y'all been together?
We've been together for about 14. Going on 15.
Okay. So you didn't wait long. You didn't waste no time, really, then.
Well, it didn't happen overnight, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, most of the time, people be in, girlfriend, relationship.
We're going on 4 years right now.
Yeah, some people
that's a
10.
You better drop to that knee soon.
Hey, some people don't make it past, you said 4 years, don't make it past 4 months.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
Count it all the way.
No, for real. Definitely holding on to my blessings as I got them. But, okay, so you said you've been married for, 11 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is marriage something that you always wanted, or is it something that you've grown into?
I'm not gonna say something that I wanted. It's something that happened. Just over the course of time, I really wasn't raised with a father, so we had children. I wanted to make sure I was the best example of a man to my kids.
Right.
Okay.
And also my wife, she's a loving and caring woman. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot about women dealing with her. So.
What would you say you learned about women? Like, what would one of the key things be you would say if you had to get a divorce right now and go to the next woman? What was something that you feel like you learned out of this relationship that you could?
Something that I learned is how to be patient. Because my wife, she has a lot of patience. However, sometimes I come off as dominant. I'm like an alpha male. I want things done a certain way. Mm-hmm. I was in the military for quite some time, so I like things done in structure. Mm-hmm. And sometimes she feels that that's like me telling her what to do, when in reality, I just like things done a certain way, even with my kids.
Right.
And I just learned a lot of patience with them.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So have you learned to adjust like that?
Yeah. So have you learned like to not always get things your way though? Like, are you okay? Are you now 11 years in okay with saying, okay, that's just not gonna be how I want it to be done. It's just gonna have to be different.
Absolutely. You have different seasons, some up, some down. So I learned how to step back, especially with my wife. You know, women, sometimes y'all tend to have attitudes just depending on what's going on. And sometimes we don't know how to address it. So I learned patience with her because I never really addressed issues and attitudes good until I met her. We had a lot of Ayana moments.
How about that?
I call them that. And she just laughs because she's a talker.
Right. You not.
I'm not necessarily a talker, but I will communicate.
Right. I think most men are like that though. I think like
You got to pull it out of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's always that one woman that, like, you'll be hanging around somebody, or y'all might be friends, platonic friends, y'all whole life, and you never knew him to be this much of a talker, or you never knew him to be this much of to have that much of a voice until you get that woman that bring it out of him. You know what I mean?
right.
Right.
Men
And
are-
then women want to talk about everything. I think, like I read a study before, and it was like men say about like it was a substantial amount of less words than women per day, like just on a regular daily basis. Like women talk so much more than men, just not even just on a relationship type of thing, just on in a general like setting. Like women, if you come
can
home
agree
and
to
count them times women how many words they say versus a man, it's like so much more.
It's sometimes where Bubba get quiet throughout the day, or I'm just like, is something wrong?
Right.
You
Just
wanna-
because they not talking.
Well, what else you want to talk about? Like, do you not want to talk to me? Like,
Right.
It'd be times where I'm like that. So I guess women can be like that, and also women could sometimes be not too receptive to, you know, like you say, you want things certain ways, and some women may call that controlling. Did you ever get that energy from your wife, or?
All the time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If she was right here, I don't know what she'll probably say. But yeah, she'll probably say I'm a little controlling. But controlling in a different way. Because she always said, oh, you smooth, you this. I'm not smooth. I'm just a gentleman. You know, so I try to carry myself as such. But yeah.
Okay,
I
so it's
think
not
sometimes
aggressive control.
It's not
like
aggressive control, but I just like things done.
Yeah,
a certain
yeah.
way. Yeah.
I can get that. To me, that's more assertive than it is controlling. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, this is my plan. This is how I want it, and you know what I'm saying.
Well, it can
I'ma
come off
assert
as
myself.
controlling though if you're not open to
Receptive idea, like different
another way of doing
yeah.
something. Because I know for me, I always say it's more than one right. Like it's not just one right. So
Two things could be true at the same time. Like,
yeah, or two things can be done a certain way at the same time. For instance, like I don't like when men, well, my husband, he said stuff like, okay, like for instance, when I clean up the house, I just get up, I clean up, I do what I'm gonna do, and I do what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
On the other hand, when my husband gets up, he's like, all right, we need to get up and we need to clean up, and no, like if you want to clean up,
So that's why you was on Bubba's side whenever I told you.
yes, because I feel
That's
like
crazy.
whatever you gonna do it. You don't need to have
That's
me
crazy.
in
I
there.
literally told her saying, you didn't even tell me that.
I didn't,
told
but
her a
that's why I
story
gave you that
about
advice.
me doing that same thing to my boyfriend. Like, so, all right, it's clean up day. Like, you know, it's Sunday. We
Yeah.
can clean up. You don't want to get up and help me clean up. He was like, shit, if you want to clean up, clean up.
up, yeah.
But like,
Because that might not be on my mind right now. I might be thinking about something else. I might be worried about something else. Like
you a dirty little thing. You and you.
Yeah,
tell me that.
it's the truth though. Like we not
Told me
kids.
that you was
It's not like we kids. Like okay, you clean up. When I clean up, I'm gonna clean up for both of us. I ain't gonna worry about whose it is or nothing like that. But if you want to clean up, you do the same thing. And that's another thing. Don't clean up and be like, you need to get your If you gonna clean up, clean up.
So it don't sit wrong with your soul with somebody sitting on the couch while you cleaning up?
No, because I'm sure. Because say for instance, you sick, and I got an urge to clean up. I'm not gonna get you out of your sickness and say,
Yeah.
come on, you gotta clean up because I'm
That's why
cleaning
the only
up.
time I leave him alone is if I know he just really
No, leave me alone all the
hard
time.
as fuck. He's sick. Like
No.
other than that, we need to do this together, baby. We ain't got
Why?
kids around.
Why?
We
Why
need
do
to
you
clean
think
it
we need to-
together.
But what if y'all together is okay? If you say you want to clean together, okay, I'm gonna go in the kitchen and I'm gonna clean the dishes, and I'll leave you whatever else you need to do.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay,
I'm cool with that. Do some. I don't care if you just do some. Not that I don't want you to not do nothing.
Right.
well, it might be times where if you get married, that somebody not gonna do nothing. I'm not saying that that's okay, but I'm just saying like.
Oh, I ain't like these young girls. That ain't my red flag breaking point. I ain't gonna break up with a nigga because he, you know what I'm saying.
Who clean up in your household?
Y'all got gender roles.
It sound like it.
Well,
The way
we kind of do.
Yeah.
Because of the way I operate. But I'm the one that do. And we say clean, you got to define that. Because I do a lot of, I straighten up. So I sit there.
most men.
That's why he's sitting there. That boy call it straightening.
That's me though. That's what I do. So sometimes she deep clean, but at the end of the day, I do majority of it, and she does. You know, she cooks a lot. And when I say a lot, majority of the time.
Right.
And then what I do is I get out there and get on the pit. But as far as cleaning go to answer that question,
You get on the what?
I get on the pit.
Oh, okay.
I think I know how to do everything. So that's something. Another thing me and my wife got. She's like, oh, you can do everything, huh? So I'll be on the pit making reels.
Okay.
My kids are my guinea pigs. So last time I was on the pit, I had some chicken, some bacon, and then I kind of smothered it, but I put it on the pit and some other.
He smothered it on the pit. Okay, okay.
Just doing something.
Okay.
It came out all right. My baby, she always give me praise. So I have a daughter, she's 8. And, my middle son, he 13. Then my oldest is 17.
It's your oldest is a boy.
17?
I have 17.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm an old man.
How old?
How old do I look?
I'll give you
Not old
like.
enough to have a 17.
I'm about to say I'll give you like 32,
38.
38. Okay. That's not old.
That ain't.
That's not old.
That's not old at all.
It's old enough. Hey, I definitely can feel it. I'm not 25 no more.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I
think you start
after
feeling
25.
Yeah, I think you start feeling that after
yes,
25.
Yes.
I move a little different.
Nah, for real. I was just talking about that because I just turned 28 a couple days ago, and I was just saying, they was asking like, do you feel like you 30 or like, do you feel like you like, you know, do you feel any grown? I'm like, I feel like I've always moved a little different. I'm a second.
You a Leo? Mm-hmm. Cool.
What, you a Leo?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, okay. I had a Virgo friend in high school. We got along perfect. Like, that's my dog.
You know, big Virgo energy. You know what I'm talking about?
Virgos are cool. I fuck with
Say it,
Virgos.
Look, Virgos are cool. My friend is a Virgo, Bree. She was and she y'all kind of the same now that I'm like putting that together. Like as far as like very assertive, very strong about what they like, strong about what they going to say. Virgos are very. That's what it is.
That's crazy. My friend wasn't like that. She was soft spoken, but she was still like she'll tell you the truth. Like
Right.
that was kind of like who you are to me now. Like how come you feel like the hard truth? That's who I used to go to for that. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Virgos are good with that.
And that's why I think Virgos are good with Capricorns because we kind of the same in that aspect.
With the hard truth.
What's
Yeah.
the Capricorn?
December,
wow.
January.
Nobody don't know what a Capricorn is though.
No, I'm saying what
That's a
it
part
is.
of our sign though. December.
December, okay.
December
the what?
25th.
Okay.
I'm
Bet.
very godly, you know.
My cousin is a
That's good. That's
is a what you said Capricorn too. But yeah, she got some choice. I already told you.
Well, they say like, yeah, they say Capricorn's like. Is she a man? Oh no, she's.
You see a man.
She is though.
That's what I was trying to say. It's so many words. Like, yeah, you never know.
Baby, it's 2023.
Hey, look.
Because me and Capricorns, they are big liars. They are. They are. Like, they horrible.
I can believe that. I really can. But just to really back in into our marriage conversation, you know how women usually like fantasize marriage. You said you weren't really like, you know what I'm saying, planning on marriage. Marriage wasn't really in your goals. Like, what you think may change your mind besides your wife?
Well, just different aspects of life. Now, my thing is, I'm not going to get on this podcast and not be transparent. Marriage is not cut and dry. It's not the white picket fence. It's not we get along every day, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of people look at my relationship because of I post and I'm good at content. And they like, oh man, you got everything you need. No. No. And Jay-Z got everything you need. He got all the money. You still need more just because you have the accolades, the money, the fame, etc. You still have wants.
Right.
So as far as marriage go, it's a constant daily day work.
It's work. Yeah, it is.
Only because, I go to work every day, Monday through Friday, and I don't like my job every day. Same thing with my wife. I'm not going to like her every day and some of the things she do, some of the things she might say. Sometimes she just be in the mood. But I understand that that's who I chose to be with, and that's what we're going to do and move forward.
So y'all been together for 11 years. So y'all kind of like understand that y'all have to grow together.
We've been married for 11.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Been married for 11 years. Have y'all ever felt like y'all were growing in different directions?
Absolutely, especially when I started GC Fitted.
Okay.
So it's a ironic story with that. She's a tailor herself. So I started tailoring through her. However, I took it to another level. I got with another guy. His name's Juan. He's great. So I'm under him. He taught me all the hems, the tapers, sewing pockets, etc. And then I just ran with it. So we got into a little space to where we was separating because I was going one way, she was going another. She was like, you doing too much with GC Fitted. Sometime I need you here. And my argument was, I am here. So at the end of the day, as we continue to talk, Iona moments, I realized what she was saying. Instead of talking over her, I had to listen to her. Because I'm like, I'm here, but what she was saying was, we need to be here more often. We used to date more often, used to do this. And I'm over here shooting content, doing a wedding, doing a prom. So I took that in consideration.
Right.
And then I basically revamped it up to where we used to be, like going out a little bit more periodically on Wednesdays. Just bringing
Wifey Wednesdays. That's what me and Carrie be calling it. So anyway, we need to get back to that though.
Just basically bringing her with me instead of me going out by myself, still doing GC. I call it GC Fitted shit. And that's that's
network and doing whatever you got to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So she just tags along, and sometimes I consider that to be like a date night. Because we be out drinking, I'm always having a cigar. I'm a cigar smoker. So I smoke a stick at least once a week. It calms me down. It's my relax. So I started smoking in the Navy, and then I just kept it going.
Okay. So you got sons. Do you encourage them like more towards the marriage, or you just let them? How you think they see in life right now?
Nah, at this time I ain't talking about marriage.
Just like as far as when they dating, like letting them know in the future.
Yes, I do try to encourage them to be the best man you can be. I try to encourage my son to get a job because as of right now, he's so big on football, and I kind of made that you gotta make your bed and sleep in it. So I was his coach when he was little.
Okay.
And from 5, 6, 7, he's 17 now. So all he think about is football. And me and him got into it about a job. I'm saying, hey man, you can still work and train.
Right.
And then I try to set boundaries. Him getting the car.
Having some responsibility.
You're not gonna drive unless you work, etc. So he's mild mannered like me, but he has a temper like me as well. So I just try to tell him just to be the best that you could be because you're gonna eventually have to provide.
Right.
You will have to do that. As a man, you have to.
Right.
Yeah. That's a hard discussion to have with your son, especially since you already know how tough the world is on black men. And you don't want to like push him too hard, but you do want him to be responsible. You do want him to be
Hold their
a
own.
man, be able to hold their own. So that is a tough conversation to have. Child, I'm glad I don't have no boys out here.
Yeah.
Black boys, nut. What?
Yeah. You said
I know. I'm just saying. It's.
Do you got kids?
I don't.
Do you have any kids? How many kids you got?
One.
Just one?
A little girl. She's
little girl,
7. Well, she's about to be 7.
Okay, so my baby the same age as yours. Yeah, so she that's my baby right there. So she's like
Men of these girls. Hey, that's my baby girl.
I mean, it is because she pretty much is the only one that kind of, how can I word it? She basically checks on me without me asking.
You know, it's crazy. All men say that about their daughters.
My thing
They
is,
do.
it's not saying I need it because I'm fine with, hey, what's going on, son? How you doing, etc. But she, hey, Dad, how was your day? It was good. I appreciate you asking. And then, you know, always give me a hug. But that's just her and her personality.
Yeah, that's kind of like my baby too. Like she asks stuff like, "How was your sleep last night?" Or she give you compliments and stuff like that. "Oh, you look cute today." Or and she do the other opposite too. The mama, why me and daddy skinny and you fat? I be like,
You remember when I asked her,
Can't say that no.
you remember when I asked her though if she thought, I said, girl, it look like I've been losing some weight. She was, not really. I was like, oh my God, I've literally just starved myself for 7 days.
And
Like,
you said,
I
not
literally
really?
have been on a smoothie diet for 7 days, and this girl talking about something, not really.
she don't care. That's how those girls are. They are daddy's girls.
Yeah, they are.
I feel like a lot of girls are.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
Especially if they have the opportunity to be, like meaning you are present and they know who you are and you interact with them. That's what they love. Like,
100%. Like,
Yeah.
a man that's showing up for her early like that, of course, 100%.
yes.
Because sometimes it can get sticky with the mamas and the girls. Like, I don't know why it's like that.
It always
it's just
does.
a woman thing.
At that teenage age, it's like.
It's always
But
weird
you
like that.
if it's a healthy relationship, it's supposed to, and it's also supposed to find its way back as adults. Like me and Mama, we had it when I came back from college. It was like, I see why I left you.
Exactly.
And
I
then
said the same
now,
thing.
me and Mama talk on the phone every day, all day. Like we be sitting on the phone, just not even saying nothing half of the time. Just like sometimes it just be like that. But yeah, kids are
When you say that, because my wife the same way.
with her mom.
Like, she used to be into it with Miss Lewis all the time over just her stepdad, different. I don't want to talk about it on the camera, but different situations.
Right.
A lot of it was dealing financially, and then they see the way I move and how we move. Like, oh, Gabe. So then there was some conflict, like a little jealousy, and then she had to, stray away from him a little bit.
So-
then they talk on the phone every day now.
Yeah,
Every day, and I go another room.
her and her mom.
I don't know.
Okay, so that kind of brings us up into my other topic I had was in-laws. How does that work with you? Because it seemed like in-laws are always an issue. Not always, not all the time.
But it is a big prominent issue.
That's
in
like one of the marriage conflicts are in-laws. Like usually it comes from my experience, it comes from the man's side because mamas are just different about their boys. So
Not all of them, though.
not all of them. No, I'm not saying all of them, but it's kind of like a territorial thing. Like, this I raised him, I made him this great man, and then you just get all the benefits. I think that's how they think. Some mothers think like that. Like, you get all the benefit of, especially, and you know what I feel like it is? I feel like it's mothers that didn't have their own significant other. Like single moms.
I've seen that on Ayana. Like, I know you be watching Ayana. You spoke on her a couple times. I used to watch that show a lot, and I've seen it. Mothers will come in there like trying to say, "Oh, well, she's not this or she's not that," or she, you know what I'm saying? She could do this better. She could do that better, and she'll be telling them like, that's not what your son is saying. That's not, he doesn't have these ideas about her. So don't try to
impose
project
that,
what you think on, because you don't have to sleep with her. You just have to accept her for who she is.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying?
As long as she
your
makes
son
you
is
happy.
happy. Yes.
Right.
As long as she's not doing anything ill intended to your, you know what I'm saying, your child, then that ought to be what it is. Do you have any in-law issues? Or have these for 11 years?
Absolutely. A lot has came up on both sides. Because at one point, my mom, she just didn't really just like my wife. For no in particular reason. It's something going on. It's really like my family dynamic. So everybody on my side, grandma, etc. My big mama, big daddy, they had 12 kids, which was my grandparents and all of them. They just don't like our spouses. For whatever our reason, this is all of us, me, my cousins, all of them.
It's just like not good enough,
Yeah,
or
it's not good enough, etc.
So the spouses meaning the women or either or?
It's both.
Both.
So
Oh, wow.
it's women and men, yeah. And then I come from a family, so majority of them are educators. I'm not sure what my big mama instilled in them, but a lot of them all graduated, which trickled down to me. Because, I mean, I graduated from Phoenix, but then I ended up getting my MBA from PV. A lot of my family went to
PV. Shout out to my alma mater.
Yeah, so a lot of my family went to PV. Cause
Are you into PV too?
I did.
Oh, I did too. From my MBA though, not undergrad though.
You went to PV?
From my MBA, it wasn't
okay.
the same. It's not like it's not like going on.
You still a PV? You
Yeah.
still a PV alumni?
But I end up getting a ticket. They wouldn't give me my actual grad degree until I paid the ticket. I'm like, I ain't even. I mean, mind you, I do all the PVs just to bullshit sometimes.
Right.
But I'm like, I ain't physically here, so I had a ticket. They did have my license plate. I'm like, hey, I don't know how this happened, so I ended up paying the ticket.
Right.
Um,
And they were gonna withhold your.
That sounds like it was extortion.
no, that's PV for you.
Nah, for real. It is HBCU, but it is financed by AMU, and you know, it's still
Right,
got
right,
white entities in there. So
Yeah.
we ain't got it all, baby. We ain't got it all.
So yeah.
Shut up.
So,
Why
yeah,
you say
like my cousin, she graduated from Texas A&M. Her brother, which is Jabari, he graduated as well. So that's what I'm saying. My whole family, they all like that, and they just don't like our spouses. So I guess it's a generational thing. Because my wife ain't doing anything to her.
It's probably just a something that they, you know what I'm saying, started and just
Right.
haven't really known it was a
How to
bad
fix
habit,
it.
so they
Like
kind
you
of just
said,
fell into
generational.
it. Yeah. They just kind of fell into it.
So
I feel like my auntie do that sometimes too.
what is the solution for it? Because how do you maneuver? Because a lot of men, especially, I feel like, don't know how to. Nah, I'm not leaving. I'm not gonna stop talking to my mama now. I can't stop dealing with my mama. You know, how does that work? Like, what is the solution to that?
It was really tough because I went through that. Because at one point, like my mom, she everything to me. So as me growing up, I'm a little older than y'all. I was getting her nails done because I mean, I'm be honest, I'm just a hustler. So like I was in licks back then. We had counterfeit money. It was what it was. I ended up doing a little bit of time, not a lot of time, but a little bit of time. Then I ended up going to the military after that. But other than that, I used to get her nails done, etc. And my mom, she told my wife at that time we were married. She told her she didn't want her coming to my son's birthday party. So my oldest son is not by my wife.
Okay.
But my two youngest are.
Okay.
However, all my kids live with me.
Right.
I'm just that type of man. I brought him in. Well, he wanted to come. It's none against his mom. He wanted to come play
with you.
football. Yeah, play football for Nimitz. So that's where I'm on Nimitz.
Okay.
And he like, okay, yeah, we're finna do this. So he came. It was nothing. But long story short, this is back when Gavin was little. He was like 4 or 5. My mama told her she can't come. Like she's driven.
Right.
So, we got through it. My wife had a lot of words to say.
As she should.
Of course, her being patient, she was like, Gabe, I can't deal with this. It's either her or me. I'm like, and then of course, as we talking about it, looking back at it, it's just so convoluted and crazy. But it was like her and me, and nothing really happened. They just kind of just talked. They had to talk about it.
It fizzles out sooner or later. I feel like women be having just a certain amount of respect. Now I ain't gonna say all. I'm not gonna put that on everybody's lap.
Right.
But a lot of women that commit to marriages and do stuff like that have a certain amount of respect for the other family just because of the respect that they have for the man. And it's solely through the man because I haven't really had any
Until
issues
it's
like
not.
that. Yeah.
Until
It's not. Yeah. Because I mean, we're all human at the end of the day.
Right.
We have reactions, we have tempers, we have feelings. So of course we're gonna feel a way in certain situations. But
I think it's like I don't know. You say it was from the start before y'all got married, but I think it's a merit thing, okay, it's real type of thing. It's for everybody. because like even for my situation with my in-laws, I thought we was the best of friends. Like up until literally we got engaged and we was about to get married, it's like everything just took a turn, and I was like, dang, I hated that because, like you said, maybe certain stuff that happened I didn't care too much for because I just looked at it as like I respect you so much that that's it's water under the bridge.
Yeah, you probably wasn't really taking
right,
it there.
exactly. And then too, I was just so happy about being a part of their family, like having because my family is small.
They taking yours, they taking you in.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Then we had a baby, and I'm like, okay, my baby daddy and his family, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I thought it was good, but then it was like the marriage thing. It shook everybody. I think.
They probably, I mean, he's from Louisiana. How many people in his family married? A lot.
Not a lot.
See,
I don't.
I was
Think,
gonna say I don't really find that too common.
I think only his sister is married. I think his sister. He has 3 sisters, but only one of them is married, and I don't know if anybody else is married.
Yeah, I know a lot of people from Louisiana, and their parents might have been together for a long time, but I think I only know one family that's actually married.
And then too, it's a boundary thing. Once it's married, it's like, okay, now I set the tone. Not I, but I have more of a say so. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And we're a family.
No, you can't borrow $20. No, you can't come over here and stay the night when you want to. Like, it has to be communicated between you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was a thing too. Like, because I've heard I try to control everything. So I'm like, but I thought that's what I was kind of supposed to do. I'm his wife, we supposed to talk about things. If we don't agree, then we don't agree. Right. So it don't happen. So I think it's just setting those boundaries with in-laws. Like, but I feel like men drop the ball because they be trying to be peacemakers more than.
You sound like me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just call it what it is. This is what it is. This is my wife now. Hey, my wife, this is my mama. This is what she gonna be able to say and do, and my wife gonna trump any of that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is our family now. You know what I'm saying? This is us together now. Because whatever decision you make, it's gonna affect me. You know what I'm saying? If you loan your mama $3,000, that might affect me later when I run myself over there and be like, hey, babe, I need $3,000. And you be like, oh, I gave it to my mama.
Exactly.
Oh, wait a minute. No.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, those problems do arise, I think, after marriage. I don't think nobody really be, like you said, they just accept them right now. They y'all in a relationship. It ain't really like too much pressure behind it.
Yeah.
Y'all not financially tied together. I think that's a lot of things. Do you think your mama might be, I ain't gonna say pocket watching, but like you said, you took care of her at one point in time, and they so used to you being that like chivalrous man for them. Do you think that they kind of like try to, I don't know,
they feel like
they don't want you to do it to nobody else?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
That's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, my boyfriend and his mama, they good, but like they ain't never just. I don't know if they just like best friends. He was like that with his grandma. So you know how some men are like that with their mom, some men like that with their grandma.
Right.
That was him and his grandma. And I don't think we would have those issues.
I just think
I hope we don't. Pray.
Well, I just think I don't think nobody really has to have the issues. I think if you just be honest about the situation, a lot of men, they know who they mamas. They know their mamas better than anybody else.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Women, they know their parents, right? You know your parents. And so if you could just be real about the situation and kind of catch it before it's even an issue, I think that will resolve a lot of things. If you know your mama is the kind of mama that's overbearing and she wants a lot of attention, and you were giving her that attention before it was another person in place, you need to have that conversation prior to me being serious with me. Like, hey, I'm thinking about being serious with this person. This is what it means to be serious with somebody, and this is where our relationship.
I want you to be open to this.
Right.
Because it can get very misconstrued.
Exactly.
But just to reel it back in a little bit, I wanted to talk about. Go ahead.
I said you right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wanted to talk about what's the disconnect in today's age. Why people don't want to get married. I'm gonna read you a little statistic I found online. It says studies say in 2018 the marriage rate fell 6.5%. That's measuring it by every 1,000 people. So they're using every 1,000 people for that. This is the lowest it's ever been in 118 years of the period that has been covered since 1867. And then what is it, sociologist professor from Maryland said women independence and gender equality is a huge factor in long-term declines in marriages. So do you think that's like where the disconnect is because women is more independent? Do you think people are just not connecting like they used to? Is it social media? What do you think plays a factor?
All the above.
All of it.
Everything. Because at the end of the day, a woman wants to be led. But then also, like I said, she wants to be led, being vulnerable, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But then a woman also wants to be her own. Like a woman is not going to never really just ask you for something. She's going to say it indirectly. And that's just the character of a woman being in her, her natural state. No different than the character of a man. So I think as far as to answer that question, is really all the above, especially in today's society, because we are so social media driven, we so power driven. Like me and my job, I'm a manager. We have other women, they managers as well. So if I could do it, she could do it. That type thing. So you got to really understand, especially coming from what woman it is, like her background, how she was raised, all the other stuff.
Right.
So you're not really on that traditional level, meaning a man do this, a woman do that.
Right.
And yeah, you're gonna have some conflicts, and that's kind of what's going on in this day and age.
I can feel that, but I kind of push against that too because I feel like I'm at the age where I'm in the middle. Yeah. I'm in the middle of like the people who are, I would say, more like you, more so principled or have a old school mentality, as they would say, of looking at things. And then I'm kind of on the edge of people, the younger generation. I'm hearing them. I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to tolerate. You don't have to stick around. You don't have to X, Y, and Z. But I'm still leaning more towards the the old school, the traditional way, because yeah, you don't have to stick around, but everybody, me and Krista talk about this all the time. Everybody in this life, you need somebody. This is not a life you are meant to navigate by yourself. You have to compromise. You have to, it's some things like we had a guest, and he was saying basically, if you compromise and you settling, like everybody settles for something in some way, whether it's in a job, whether it's in a relationship, he feels like people settle. And I don't feel like that's where marriages are. I don't feel like they're settling. I feel like they're compromising. I feel like the only reason it feels like settling is because y'all are scrolling on Instagram feeling like the world is endless or everybody's touchable. You know what I mean? Everything is feasible.
Well, it's interesting he said that. I never met him. But a person to say that based on his character and personality, meaning like me or you, for instance, you say you got your degree, then you end up getting a higher degree. You end up becoming a manager, and now you a AD or a director. I end up getting a business I want to keep. So that's based on your personality. It's not that you're settling. It's really if you want to keep going higher, you're never gonna be satisfied. Right. So yeah.
And then too, I think it goes back to what you said. Marriage is work. At the end of the day, it's work. It's constant work. I'm working on being a better cook. I'm working on being a better listener. I'm working on being helping you with the kids. It's always something to work on in the marriage. And I feel like a lot, especially this new generation of people, they want everything so easy, so quickly. The microwave generation, and I feel like they not understanding that. It's work, it's never gonna stop. It's never ending work. That's what it is too. And I feel like a lot of even when we talked about it before, a lot of people said stuff like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be in no marriage if I'm depressed for 5 years. If I'm not happy for 5 years." And I'm not to say that's okay either. But at the same time, you have to understand what it is, what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Like for instance, and I don't wish this on anybody, but like a death of a child, that may weigh very heavy, and that might not last 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 years. It might go on. And are you willing to say, this is the person that I'm supposed to be with, and or I want to be with, and I'm willing to go through this with them right now? Or are you willing to just be like, I ain't gonna be able to do this right now? Yeah. And I feel like that's what marriage is about. Like, it's about working towards being a better person. And even when they were talking about last episode about we don't own anybody, and we have to experience people and be there for who they are. A lot of times that's not really what marriage is about, because you might compromise some things because you love that person so much and you want this situation to work, or you know that your kids are invested in this. It's not just, oh, I'm not willing to compromise on that because that's not who I am. It's not true to who I am. Well, I'm gonna compromise on that because it's not just about me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a very unselfish thing. Like, to be able to be married, you have to be very selfless. Like,
I agree.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
and I think people take that for like, oh, I have to compromise or I have to settle. It's not necessarily settling when you make sacrifices, because there's a lot of things that people make sacrifices for outside of marriage that people make sacrifices for.
Right.
And that's not settling to them. They making a
smoking for a job.
Yeah,
you doing this for that. Like, you might have probation or something. You never know. You got to make a sacrifice.
Right.
That's what you got to do.
So real quick, let's get into something real juicy. Like, okay, so what is
Not the juice.
the juice? Yeah, let's get into some juicy stuff. Like, okay, so
Not the juice. We finna get to your bedroom business.
the bedroom.
Finna get to your bedroom business.
So, okay, so with marriage, like, okay, I know from experience, like, sometimes sexual rhythms, and all couples don't necessarily go through this, but, like, sexual rhythms can be off sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just one of the things that you be with somebody for so long that sometimes it's like babies can cause this, just, you know, mood, situation, life events, you know, things cause that. Like, have you and your wife ever been in a space to where, like, it just wasn't clicking? Like, no matter how much y'all tried, it just, y'all had to take a break, or, you know, what have y'all ever been in that situation?
Yes, and I think all couples go through that. So my wife at one point, she was going through like some type of identity thing, because when she had our first son, she was a little older. And she was, oh, I can't go to the club, etc. Like, man, look, we can still go out. Right. And then as far as the bedroom, like, you can still back it up now. Don't stop.
Ain't no shame in your game.
Right,
Don't rub on me.
And then of course she went through the whole I don't like the way I look. So then that's when me understanding that. And it took me some time. So I had to cater to it. At one point I thought I was doing too much. Meaning to be intimate, I had to, you know, give her massages, all other stuff, get her in the mood. But then I realized that, hey man, we're good. So hey, I'm still doing what I do, I'm still finishing.
Yeah.
So I had to realize that sometimes it just take a little bit more.
Yeah.
Even though it ain't take that much to get them, but sometimes
You gotta do more to keep them.
But yeah, absolutely. So we went through a whole season, and it's unfortunate that it happened, because now I can see the light, because we ain't in that season no more. Sometimes we like to say, man, hey, we'll have to come back just a little bit, because she get the drinking and whatnot. And
we already know what
and my kids see it, so I ain't gonna say I'm just a sexual person, but I am. So I'm always playing without smacker, and my kids always see like, oh, damn, blase, but I be dead ass serious. And then you know we go in the room, but at the end of the day, I think that's just a part of life. And honestly, we may go through that season again. I don't know what the future may hold.
Yeah, I think that people have this perception of marriage, like once you get married, you just always overly sick, you just have a lot of sex, you just
Child, they think that when you living together, so if I move in with you, I better be. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's a part of maturity though.
Yeah, it is.
Because at the end of the day, you ain't gonna do something every goddamn day.
Nothing.
Like my thing is, I mean, I can say this analogy, but you know, you could go to State 48, eat State 48, State 48 every day, but then you want a little bit of McDonald's. I'm not saying you're gonna step out, I'm saying you just want something different.
Right.
So at the end of the day, man, people that's not married had this whole convoluted process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever had those infidelity issues in your relationship?
Man, things happen.
It's
And I ain't even gonna be on this podcast, but at the end of the day, things do happen.
Tell about business.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only 11 years, so
Yeah,
I mean,
and
ain't nobody giving you an excuse, but
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? Things do happen, like you said.
And my thing is, I'm a gentleman, so sometimes I come out with that energy, and the energy is always reciprocated. So sometimes I come off wrong to women, and then they look at me as I'm flirting, when I'm really not.
I had to learn something. I had to learn too, though.
Do you consciously, do you know in your mind, like, if somebody was to say, "Oh, Gabe is a flirt," like, do you think in your head too, why you doing it? Like, maybe I'm doing it a bit too much. You don't never think that. You just think that's just you, and you just be flowing.
Yeah, I'm just flowing.
I was just gonna say, you can't tell how he's sitting here talking to us that he's just like a. I can feel like if I was at a bar right now and I didn't know him, he's sitting next to me at a bar. If I said something about the weather, or if I just said something, he would probably talk to me just how he's talking to me now.
But I wouldn't give this flirt. I wouldn't give that flirt. That don't give me flirt though.
So I was just gonna say that though, but that's because you're not thinking about it like that. Single lady might be like, "Oh, he's sweet talking me, girl. He talking all soft and gentle, and he's being, you know what I'm saying? You know how bitches be? They be having the wrong perception. Like they really like take. I say that because I've been told that. I ain't gonna say that I was a flirt, but like I've been having to reel it back from men sometimes because sometimes just me being nice is me being perceived as what they say, if she looked, she took.
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to be generous, or I'm just trying to have a casual conversation, or we at the bar, like I'm about to just say, you know what I'm saying? What's up? You know, the weather look nice outside.
Well, I asked that because I feel like men that say that, I feel like it don't be that. It be, you know what you doing, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't act like, oh, I'm just this suave ass nigga. No, nigga, you know. Because if it's a female that you don't want to do that with, or you not trying, you making sure she don't get that energy.
You think so?
I know so. Yeah, I know so.
She talking from a female perspective.
No, I'm talking from a female perspective, but at the end of the day, I feel like this. And I say this because I know somebody, and I won't say who. But I feel like he's that type of person, and he knows it. But when he's around a Ugmo or somebody that ain't cute or something like that, he ain't that person.
I know who you talking about.
You know, he ain't that person. So I'm like, okay, so that make me feel like you know what you be doing. That you know when you be doing all your little player ass shit, you be doing.
Yeah, you basically talk to who you want to talk to.
Yeah, you doing that who you want to do it with. So that's why I say when people say that, I be like, do you really act like, is that really just you, or you know, like? Well,
that's the only reason I'm putting it in there, because I know sometimes men be like, oh shit, I thought you was feeling me, and I was like, damn nigga, I didn't say nothing, but you know what I'm saying, I thought today was hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I said something,
it's subject, because we live in a world of, it's a lot of people. So in Houston alone, it's 2.5 million, 3 million. So you got to be conscious of. Somebody's going to want somebody, even if you are in a marriage. But then that's when you look at it from a mature standpoint, and be like, okay, this is what I dedicated myself to. This is what I'm gonna do, and then talk about the morals.
Because discipline.
Yeah, because as a man, I'm gonna be honest and transparent. I mean, it's hard. You ain't gonna just say, okay, I just ain't cheated, such and such. I mean, it's probably a season when a man did cheat. But then my thing is, do you do it consistently? Did you understand what you did at that time, why you was doing it?
Right.
And then step back from it. Because some men some men are consistent cheaters.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
They don't see
that's when you got a problem.
Yeah, so that's when you gotta understand, because we was talking about infidelity, so let's talk about it. At the end of the day, that's when you gotta understand where does it come from? Is it coming from a lack of intimacy in the house? Is it coming from a lack of respect? Because you could have a lot of intimacy with your husband or a significant other, and y'all good in that area, but if you don't feel like you're respecting him, he gonna go elsewhere.
Yeah, that's true. and we talk about
that. When I say respect, it's subject to that individual.
That relationship.
Yeah. So he could look at respect as you just fixing him a plate, or some women talk, oh, bitch, you did, like, come on now, you don't talk to me. I don't do women that talk like that. But some do. Some men deal with that.
Yeah.
So men
talk to each other like that.
Exactly. It just is what it is. So if a man has done anything, infidelity or cheated or a side piece, whatever the case may be, if he understood it during that season and he did it and he rectified it, I could commend that man.
Right.
Because it does happen. But if you continue to happen with multiple women, different seasons, different multiple women, then you got to realize maybe you have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of women don't like when I say this, and even T, she was like,
I did. I said I had a problem when you said that.
when your man thinking about cheating, you really have to check yourself because, and I'm not saying that it gives you a reason to cheat because still cheating is a self choice. That's a self choice. So you have the choice to say, even if your wife's not giving you enough, you still have the choice to say, no, I'm not going to cheat on her still. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that, but at the same time, like you have to figure out what it is that made him feel comfortable enough to entertain it from the start, and then go even further to do it.
Right. And especially if he said, like he said, if he's not a habitual cheater, this not nothing he ever done before. Y'all been together 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, and then just one day he just stepped out. I understand that. Mm-hmm. Now, back to back, trying to reflect on yourself when a nigga just going. No. I ain't finna sit here and be like, I'm less than.
And that's the thing, you gotta understand about time. If a nigga got enough time to do all that, man, come on, my God. You need to get some money. Occupy your time. Right. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like
you working with these financials, baby.
Like, look, why do you think I stay so busy? Like, you stay busy for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you got enough time to occupy 3, 4 different women, because them with one is enough.
Right.
Because you got to understand where that one come from. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, I want to get into overseas. Because overseas, they culture, they have multiple wives. Mm-hmm. And I used to work over there. So I worked with KBR for a little bit. I was in Iraq. Okay. So with KBR, I seen the culture over there and how they operate. So they have 5, 6 different wives, but that's them. So we Americanized. Of course, you don't want to get into a whole history topic, right? How we got here, right? Slave trade, etc. But we here, we understand how America operates. Mm-hmm. As a man, I'm looking at the camera. as a man, I'm not gonna say we should settle with one woman, but subjectively in your mind, you need to understand that that's what we're here for. Because we're going to want multiple women. It's just a man's nature. Because we procreate. But a woman, not saying she won't multiple men, every woman is different.
So with that being said, and I have to cut you off real quick though. So you have said, you deal with infidelity. So it has the opposite, the reverse, woman. We obviously y'all move past infidelity. Y'all still together. But if that was the other way around, like if it was your wife that had stepped out, would it be the same? Would y'all still be married today?
See, that's a tough question because I'm not really sure. My thing is from a perspective. Look at you. And I ain't just talking to you on the podcast. You gotta look at it from a full perspective. Women, they step out and they get involved with feelings. Yes. They have to have a connection. So for a woman to give me her body, she's already connected to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at it from a perspective of I just like the way she shaped. So it's 2 different dynamics. Mm-hmm. And
I can feel that.
And if a wife cheated, etc., you gotta understand she probably really liked that man. Especially
a wife, because or a woman that's been in a relationship, committed relationship, we're gonna think about it. We're gonna weigh out the options. Do I really want to do this shit?
Not weigh the options.
Oh, yes. Do I really want to do this shit? And some bitches be like, fuck, throw it all to the wind, let me go. But like, you really gonna be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this too much on the fly. You gonna weigh your pros and cons.
And then I too think that like me and my husband, we have conversations about stuff like this. Like, I be trying to be so open to the point to where you can't never say I ain't. Yeah. So we be having conversations, and like we both at a stage right now. We only been married 4 years.
You said 4?
I feel like I know as a woman, I think like this. I feel like, I might be physically attracted to a man, or I might like somebody outside of my husband, like for the eyes. Yeah. But sometimes I think about a lot of stuff. Like, once I get in the house with you, am I really gonna like you for real?
Yes.
Once we really get, am I really gonna like? Are you gonna not even like right? Are you gonna pay my bills too? Like, do you have a better job than my man? Like,
I'm particularly like, do your breast thing, cause like please, like don't be all up in my space.
Right, like it's certain things that I look past. Like, yeah, you fine and all, but I know you probably do this, and nah, I'm good. Like I'm telling
you, even when I was single, I had like saw men that I was like attracted to, and then I might talk to them. I'm like, God, what the fuck was that? Like, so I don't even let my eyes play them tricks on me these days.
Yeah, like it's like so much more to it. Like,
I'm not finna let my eyes.
Are you gonna wipe my ass if I go see?
No, for real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you need a husband that's really that you don't want nobody that be like, she got cancer, I can't do that. She can't do nothing. Like, you want somebody that should look for you beyond that. So that's what I look at. Like, if I ever thought about it, like, you would have to check out a lot of boxes for me to just be like, let me crash out behind you. Because the looks ain't gonna be the one thing that I'm crash out behind.
And sex ain't never enough for us.
Never enough. Cause
never enough for women.
For women.
So why do women have sex with married men?
I don't f nobody married man, okay? Hey, Rikente.
I can't.
Well, let's talk about it.
I'm not. Not you hit the clues wrong.
Let's talk about
Because women feel, this is my opinion, I feel like women that have sex with married men, they really have this delusional thought in their head that whatever that man is doing for his wife and that what she sees can be done for her. She feels like that's the case, and that is never the case.
I feel like another thing is those women are the same women who feel like coochie is power. You know what I'm saying? That coochie is talk. Coochie is different. This shit might be so good. He gonna do something different for me. He gonna change his mind. He gonna want to break over his woman.
Yeah, you gotta hit the button again.
No, for real.
Wait. Coochie
It is power.
It is power.
It is definitely power. It is. It
I'm
definitely
talking
is.
about like when I mean power, I mean like it's just it's power now.
It's power.
I'm talking about like
It's the
how they be
delusion.
putting it to like how they be putting that shit on a pedestal damn near like.
I'm
you
gonna
know
put my
what I
shit
mean?
on the pedestal, but I'm not gonna sleep with a married man. But the thing about it is, they really think that what they see you doing for. If you listen to a lot of women when they talk about sleeping with married men, like he's gonna leave his wife. They think that what they're doing is enough for them to replace your wife. And they don't, also a lot of women don't think enough of themselves to go get their own.
Right.
Versus waiting on somebody else to replace somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why women sleep with married men. It don't never be about the sex. Because you can have sex with anybody. You don't have to be married. So if it was genuinely about sex, you would just find somebody to have sex with that wasn't married. It's the fact that you think that you see what's going on. She see how you treat your wife. And you want that. You want to take something that's not yours. It's the delusion of wanting to take something and say that you did that. He liked you better. He wanted you more.
You're speaking for all women. What if a woman don't agree with that? I mean, I'm not just saying.
I agree with it.
The only person that would agree with it is the woman that's sleeping with somebody else.
Yeah, because she gonna have some kind of excuse behind it. It's gonna be some, he woulda or
no, I'm with him for the sex.
Yeah, or he ain't tell me.
Right, he ain't tell
I ain't know.
Yeah,
like all that should be bullshit. You can tell when you might not even know he married, but you know that you ain't the only woman.
And another thing, women, believe it or not, I don't care how much a woman say this and that. Women are not wired like men. Men can sleep with a woman and only sleep with them for sex. Women are tied into emotion. Even if you go into it only wanting sex, by the time you done having sex 1, 2, 3 times, you emotionally tied in. You're not just tied in for the sex at that point. So to continue to sleep with a married man, that means you have gained emotion and you believe that he's gonna leave his wife and be with you, or you are okay to be in second.
Y'all just looking at it. I ain't, you know what I'm saying?
You asked the question, we gave the answers, baby.
And she
gave the answers.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's my. If anybody think any different, I'm at the.
We're willing to talk about it.
At the comment section every Thursday, 7:30. Pull it on 242 First Street West.
Talk about it,
I'm in
baby.
Texas, okay?
But what you want to leave the people with? What's something that you feel like you could tell younger men, or that you would tell your younger self about dating and about women and just understanding yourself as a man?
That's a good question. I guess I can lead the people with just keep going forward. Be as positive as you can, because we live in a negative world, especially when we talk about marriage, infidelity. So many factors go into it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I just believe people would just continue to go forward with whatever situation you're in, whether it's super high or super low.
Right.
Because you're going to have your high days, you're going to have your low days. And then you just got to keep going.
I like that. Grind all the way through. Keep it going. Let's keep it going. And until next time, Common Crew, y'all know how we do. That was a great episode. And
We appreciate you for coming.
we do. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Deuces.